Hide your motherfucking kids. There's going to be a whole lot of reading. Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization has received reports that Carl Crook, who is he? The CEO of Hazm Games Limited and former administrator of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the UK and Ireland, has been jailed on child sex charges stemming from events that occurred between 2004 and 2008. This motherfucker got arrested last month. This might not be appropriate, but he kept that shit on the low. I wonder what exactly happened that caused him to get arrested. Was it him being so full of guilt? I fucked these kids, I did all these nasty things to these kids, and I just want to be punished for my actions. I don't think so. In light of this, we at Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization must make some things abundantly clear. This is all on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization site, yugoorganization.com, YGOrganization.com. And no, I am not a paid sponsor. It goes without saying that Konami and all its subsidiaries in no way endorse or support pedophilia. Why the fuck would you say that in public if you did? Right? And would not consciously allow a known sex offender to work with children in any capacity. Of course you wouldn't. But I think there's a reason why these people are called sex offenders, you know? It isn't like they can't just bottle up that urge for a brief moment. There's clearly a reason why there's such a gap between when the events happened and when he got arrested. I'm just saying. I'm not making light of it, just being realistic. Number two, these events happened between 2004 and 2008. Hazm Games was not in charge of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the UK during these times, and to our knowledge, these actions did not take place in any Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG sanctioned events, because that shit would have been too easy. Because there's enough kids, I don't know how many, I don't pay attention, I'm not a pedophile, but you can imagine at these events, there are enough kids and parents thinking this is a family-friendly environment, and yeah, go ahead and just, even if they don't know, it's possible. He's a sex offender or something, a pedophile, something, because with this type of stuff, you can't just think that, nah, he wouldn't do that. I mean, the sky's the limit, even though that's usually used in a positive way. Upper Deck Entertainment was in charge of TCG distribution during the years of the events in question. Transpired not Konami, of course, because the fake card thing, Upper Deck has something to do with it. Konami took over and said, get the fuck out of here. Fucking up our game. In so few words. That's a damn shame. This is yet again something else about Upper Deck. Now, it's possible that Upper Deck didn't know, but do we know? Do we really care? Not really. At least I don't. To the best of our knowledge, no other parties were involved or aware of this, and this comes as a great surprise to the entire UK Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. Now, if anybody knew and didn't say anything, I think you should be locked up as well because you was an accessory and you had knowledge about this illegal action happening. But then again, if you shut the fuck up, perhaps not. Maybe you were just good at keeping your mouth shut. Hazm Games relinquished the contract for Yu-Gi-Oh! In the UK over to Quick Play Games Limited in November 2014. The arrest occurred during December, and as far as we are aware of, had nothing to do with the game changing hands. The actions of an individual in no way reflect the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community as a whole. The majority of players that have no malicious intent and parents can be assured that tournament officials will make every effort to protect your children. So this may seem a tad bit fucked up, but it always has to be something fucked up to happen for change to happen, right? So this is the first time I would say in the history of the game, and that's pretty good considering that it's the first instance at least been publicized that something like this has happened. With that being said, it should not have taken this to happen for people to be like, we need to be extra diligent because you act as if with pedophiles and people that commit crime, you act as if certain places are off limits, and that's not the case. I'm not criminal minded, but I'm not stupid. And I understand that it's a possibility. There are kids here. You like kids. You want to do sexual things with kids. It's just disgusting. Yes, but that doesn't change And that doesn't stop anybody from doing the shit that they want to. As far as I'm concerned, I'm like this, hey, if I was a pedophile, I could understand why this would happen. Because it is pretty lax. I haven't been to every event. That's a lot of shit. But the events I've been to, yes, it's been pretty lax. You can say you didn't have malicious intent. Most of us do not. Most of us do not want to have sexual intercourse or sexual contact with children. But the problem is that you go based on this assumption. We treat children the same. And that very assumption, at least in my opinion, led to this. Now, that being said, this should not reflect the Yu-Gi-Oh community, but we have enough stigmas about the game as is. This might just go under the rug because not many people are talking about it. Perhaps they didn't know how to talk about it. Perhaps they were afraid. I am not a such thing. I feel like this should not have happened. To a degree, you don't really know your employees. It is always possible for something like this to happen. And you're going to basically have the same reaction, have all these points saying, oh my God, we had no idea. I believe that. But I also do believe that the people that are around this man, the people that worked around him, I'm not saying that they knew, but I'm saying that there might have been some signs that they didn't bother to bring up to people. They didn't bother to say anything, or if they did say something, nobody knows about it because we ain't hear shit about it until basically today. Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization brought this to my damn attention. I get my news from these motherfuckers. But this basically says to me, hide your motherfucking kid. All right, seriously. Parents, if you go to an event, because this could happen again. This is not the first and or last time, at least in my opinion. Now, some people consider me a pessimist. I feel like I'm realistic. It can go either way. But I feel like you should be more diligent. You should not be so careless to go into these events. Even if it didn't happen to the events, I don't give a fuck. If I had kids, no, you would not be going to this event. Fuck that. I'm not willing to take that chance for my children to be hurt. And what if something happened? You'll be probably saying the same shit that I'm saying right now. I shouldn't have brought them because at the very least, I would have completely taken out the possibility that something happened at this event. This did not happen in the US, but I do feel that it is somewhat relevant worldwide. It didn't happen in your backyard. That does not mean that it's not important. And that's all I really got to say about that. Thank you for watching. Clicking that makes me money, helps me pay my end rent to live in the motherfucker. You know the drill.